This evening we have a wonderful privilege. A privilege of hearing from an individual who throughout the last number of years has been the leading exponent in terms of combining halacha and science, the secular and the spiritual, and showing that one is so neatly tied with the other. But in terms of understanding the depth of halacha and the true knowledge of science itself. Dr. MiniMed Tendler is one of the leading experts on medical ethics as it pertains particularly to Jewish law. He is the chairman of the Rabbinical Council of America Bioethical Commission, chair of the Medical Ethics Task Force, United Jewish Appeal Federation of Greater New York. Rabbi Tendler received a BA from NYU in 1947 and a master's degree in 1950. He was ordained as a rabbi by Yeshiva University Rabbinical Seminary in 1949 and earned a PhD in microbiology from Columbia University in 1957. He is now a senior Rosh Hashanah at Reeds and professor of Jewish medical ethics and biology at Yeshiva College. Rabbi Tendler has been one of the most vocal and adamant supporters of Jewish organ donation. He is currently rabbi of the Community Synagogue of Monsey and has been a past president and is a legal advisor for the Association of Orthodox Jewish Scientists. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a privilege. It is a privilege to know that we are going to hear from an individual who throughout the years was able to combine a tremendous depth of Talmudic understanding and scientific reality and bring them together to give you the view of Jewish halacha. Rabbi Dr. MiniMed Tendler.
The problem we already have is a time triage. Unfortunately, I have to catch a... Am I coming across okay?
We hear perfectly.
To catch a plane back to my home this evening. I don't trust your pilots to fly correctly on Fridays. As is coming here, we were delayed already. The topic is one that gains much meaning from the questions that you will ask more than from the presentation that I will make to you. I'll try to cover as much ground as possible, but I'll be watching the clock. And I'd like to be able to leave at least some 10 minutes for questioning. Just don't be embarrassed to ask anything you want. I have Rabbi Shoham here. He can answer anything I can. This concerns the Canadian medical system as well as the American. We are ordered, it's a biblical command, to make use of medicine for the benefit of mankind. The first verse I referred to there, V'rapo Yerape, lets you know that without God's help, you will not be cured. Without a doctor's help, you won't be cured either. Kadosh Baruch Hu set up this world to run by natural law. By natural law, the first verse has interpreted by our sages, and heal he shall heal is a command. Don't get involved with religion. You're not going to be healed by faith, but you won't be healed by a doctor either. After you go to a doctor, you have a fighting chance that God will listen. But if you don't go to a doctor, God waits until you go to a doctor. The second verse says it's not the job of government, it's not something that's assigned to the medical profession. Every individual, when he finds a lost object, must return it. And the Talmud says, if you must return a lost object, how much more are you indebted to return someone's lost health? So Vashivosolo, which is the verse for returning lost objects, says you're personally involved to make sure that someone who needs medical care will get it. Trouble is, not everybody's a doctor. How can I assign that as command, that mitzvah, that you must help someone? I'm not a doctor. The answer is the third verse. Lo samor adam re'echa. You can't stand idly by while your friend is in danger. Therefore, as the Talmud explains, I left that for our rabbis here, hire a doctor. Money you have. That's the basis for National Health Service. That you have to give money because someone else is sick. That's a mitzvah in the Torah. But don't pick me up on this one. You don't have to buy him life insurance. You don't have to buy him health insurance. You have to provide an emergency room, that's all. To give him the comfort, the psychological solace of knowing I can go into a doctor, I have an insurance policy, and he'll receive me. That's a luxury for rich people. Everyone is entitled to medical care. But the medical care that must be provided is basically the kind of care we provide in most civilized countries in a hospital emergency room. Someone is sick, you go find a doctor. It's more comfortable to have a private family doctor, etc., but that's not a requirement from biblical law because that's already an economic situation. Not everyone needs to be provided the same luxury as everybody else. That's a critical point now with money being so scarce for all governments.
You're fine.
Huh?
Good.
Okay. Here I want to jump to touch on a critical point, something that concerns every one of us. When someone is sick, when do you give up? In America, the battle in healthcare today with Obama is whether you'll provide healthcare for everybody unto death. Is there a time when a person can claim the quality of life is also important? And you have many people who fill out their healthcare proxies, or living will as it's referred to, and say, I want no ventilator. I don't want you to feed me with a peg, with a stomach tube. They say that usually when they're 35 years old. When they need the tube, when they're 80 years old, they usually change their mind. But is there an issue of quality of life? And I want you to understand that the halacha recognizes quality of life. There are times when a person cannot be helped, but it can be kept alive due to modern technology. You get the heart continue to beat with all kinds of now ventricular assists. You can provide him with oxygen. You can provide him with food. And according to halacha, water and oxygen and nutrition is not medical care. That's everyone's absolute right.